back to the channel. Today I am getting my parts Durango, and I am pretty excited because I have been waiting for this vehicle for over 3 weeks. So I won it before I went to SEMA, and why I'm getting it is because I need the newer style hatch and the tail light. So my tail light was busted, as well as the side one on this side because this quarter panel was damaged, and then I accidentally broke the other one on the corner because the other hatch, when I opened it, it chipped that edge. So now I'm gonna have a good hatch, good taillights, and it'll be ready to go. And that's really why I've been waiting to line everything up, because I wasn't sure if this hatch was a little bit different where the striker is positioned, but now I'll have the new hatch, and it was a lot cheaper, or it's probably gonna be the same amount. So getting a whole vehicle or just getting all the parts. So the rear tail light, used is around like $1,000, $1,500. New, it's above $2,000, like $1,800 to $2,000. The side tail lights, $200 to $500. The hatch, brand new, is $800. So, you know, it's very, very nice that I have a whole car, because now I have 4 wheels. I have a bunch of other stuff. It's hit really hard in the front, but I have a bunch more interior in the back. If I need anything, I could pretty much pull it apart. If I need any miscellaneous clips, I have a rear bumper. I have a bunch of stuff I could sell. I have more quarter glasses, more rear glasses. We'll be good to go. So the guy's gonna be here in probably about 5 minutes. So let's head up there and get everything ready so we can get this thing and start stripping everything we need off. We just got here with the Durango and he's offloading it. It doesn't roll very well because it's wheels, but I think he said he could get it off. So let's see. The Durango is finally here, and I'm very, very excited that the taillights and the hatch are good. So when you're looking at auction pictures, it is very hard to tell if things like taillights or body panels are good. I mean, if there's huge dents, it's very easy to tell. Like, I did know this door back here, or this front door, was damaged, but the rear door, I couldn't see any of this. It looks like it's still usable, but I also thought I had another rear door on this side, but you can see it's actually tweaked. And I don't know if that's from, yeah, it must be from the accident, but it just wasn't very noticeable. But another thing I didn't notice, I thought this rear bumper was perfect, even though I'm gonna use the Hellcat I. I believe they're the exact same bumper. The upper part, I think the rear valence is different. It looks almost like they hit some drywall. There's some drywall stuff right there. But I couldn't tell that the exhaust pushed this out. I think this bumper will be fine once I get the exhaust off of it. But yeah, look at this hatch. We have a nice hatch right there. But, ooh, we have some front bumper pieces. Ooh, we have some pieces inside. I can't wait to see those. And some other stuff. I mean, this thing hit something really, really hard. I mean, they didn't, whatever they did, they didn't stop to, whatever they hit, they didn't stop for it. So yeah, it's just really nice to have this thing. I wish, you know, I wish the engine didn't get pushed into the dash. I thought this might have been a V8, but I think it is a V6. I got an aluminum hood, man. He drove all the way here like this. That is sketchy. So I have some pieces of aluminum. I have some pieces of, and the front suspension's the same. If there's any good stuff down there, looks like that thing is broke on the strut assembly. Looks like this thing might be still be kind of good. I have some pieces here. The wheels, the tires look pretty decent. The wheels look pretty decent. This wheel probably, I don't know if it's going to be salvageable or not. It has a bend right there. I might be able to get it repaired and have a set of wheels. That little bit of damage right there is from coming off the trailer. Dude, the guy was so afraid because it started rolling off the trailer and my old boss just let it roll. It's funny. But yeah, she just rolled off. But yeah, let's get the hatch off of here, get the tail lights off of here. So now I pretty much have everything out of the inside of the Durango. And one thing I want to say is I don't understand why tow truck drivers are this lazy, but the one thing I've noticed is if your car gets in an accident and it leaks fluid, it doesn't matter how badly damaged it is. If you buy it back, I've already removed a whole lot of this. Another good thing is I got WeatherTech floor mats for my Durango. I just need to clean them up. They're pretty dirty from all the oil and floor dry. But the tow truck drivers think it's like this really big joke to just throw all of the floor dry and stuff inside the car because they're too lazy to just put it in a bag and take it with them. So you get charged by the tow truck driver for cleanup and then they just throw it all in your car. Obviously I did buy this car from the auction, but even if this was my car and I wrecked it, I would have got it back like this. It's like this big joke. Plus I could tell that they already went through the car. There was some Oculus Rift glasses or goggles, but the tow truck driver got to them before me. So, you know, I wasn't expecting them, but it's just one of those things. If your car gets in a wreck, you're probably going to get robbed by the tow truck driver. If it's something where you have to go to the hospital and then you buy your car back or go to get pretty much whatever was in it, it's going to be gone. So that being said, it's kind of crazy that there isn't any blood in this. I was expecting there to be blood in this, you know, because it's how badly it's wrecked. I don't know how they got the person out of here. I think it was probably a girl that was driving it. This is one thing I always tell, you know, whenever I have a girlfriend. I haven't had one for like 6 years, so I haven't had to tell them, but don't let your girls drive with their seats all the way forward, even though they can't reach the pedals. Most cars like this, I believe this is one of them, my truck is another one, the pedals actually move out and move further forward, so then you don't have to be this close to the steering wheel. Because I've said this many times before, if you're this close to the steering wheel, like look at the space they had to get this person out. And I mean, it's just crazy that they got him out and there's no blood on any of this stuff. None of it. The airbag doesn't have blood. Obviously they pulled the person out because they cut the seatbelt. They opened it with the jaws of life, so there was a person in there. I just don't understand how they didn't get, you know, it's just crazy with all that sharp stuff there and how far forward the dash, or how far in the dash is pushed in. It's just crazy to me, but good for them. I mean, it just sucks when you get in a wreck like this. You can see how far the engine is pushed back. The engine is actually supposed to be like somewhere around right here. The tranny's all the way broke. What I'm probably going to end up doing is I'm going to hook a chain up to it, probably hook it to the 6-liter, give her a nice brake boost. I'm sure I'll just rip the engine out. I'm sure there's a few things that are good on there. I think the alternator is probably still good. AC compressor is toast. The bottom end may be okay. We'll see. The heads on this side, I think this AC compressor bracket, it might have messed the head thread up, but I'm not sure. We'll see what's good on this. I know the tranny's bad. The front diff is cracked on the, you can see where the axle goes in. It's pretty far misaligned, but it may still be good because that part actually do these bolt on? Yeah. So where it's cracked, it actually bolts on. So it might be okay with the front diff as long as I get that new extension housing. And what else? I got a bunch of aluminum for the radiators, aluminum for the hoods. I have a good passenger side mirror, even though I don't need it, but I could sell that. That rear door is pretty decent. I have a lot of glass. I have 3 windows. I wish I had this glass because I need that for mine. And another thing is the interior. I could probably clean this up and make it look pretty good. There isn't any cuts. I haven't found a cut in any of the seats, so these are leather seats. This driver one, obviously, I probably could pull it out of there, but the bag popped. The passenger seat, the bag didn't pop, so we should be okay cleaning that seat up. And maybe I'll just pull the covers off of it and sell them with these seats, but I have this row and the last row, that's good. But I don't know why it's always so difficult to get these hatches to come open. It's just weird. So I'm still trying to get that hatch to pop, so we'll see what happens with that and just kind of go from there. But it is really nice to have this and not have any damage on it, just because it was going to cost me so much. And it's crazy that you know, that engine, look at that dash, it's just crazy. So let's get some of this out and get this hatch off, get the tail lights. This wing is different, so I'll pull that off. I could get rid of that, and we'll just kind of get what I need off of here. And I think I have 3 good door panels, or 3, maybe 1 good door panel and 2 other okay door panels. But oh no, this one has a cut in it too. So yeah, there was a bunch of stuff in here and I pulled most of it out. You can see this floor dry. Look at that. Yeah, thanks tow truck driver. I appreciate that. Hatch is now off of the Durango, as well as the taillights. To pull the hatch, you have to pull a bunch of the interior trim, as well as you have to pull all the trim on the hatch so you can get to these plugs and undo them and then pull them through, as well as the struts. I'm really happy this had the auto lift, so now I have a good strut, because the one on the Durango was busted because that whole side was kind of tweaked. And then to get the tail lights, you have to pull the rear bumper, which the bumper is actually good. So I'm pretty sure that these upper pieces of the bumper are the same as the normal Durango and the Durango Hellcat, just the lower valence changed. So this bumper is really good. It has a few scuffs and scrapes, but it doesn't have any cuts. It doesn't have any dents. It would be very easy to paint it. The one I'm gonna fix on the Durango Hellcat has a pretty significant scuff on the driver's side. I may actually end up using this upper portion and then just put my valence on it. But this valence has a little thing going on because that exhaust tip was actually pushing it out. I could heat it up with a heat gun, probably be okay. But I also have the gauge cluster. This gauge cluster shows that it has a full tank of fuel, which is nice. It was running about medium on the temp, 1500 RPM. So what I probably think happened with this thing, I don't see anything else that could have happened other than they had the adaptive cruise control on. That is one thing I have not allowed a car to do for me, is braking, because it's just weird, because it's so easy for it to miss something to happen like this. I mean, obviously you're gonna have to get used to it. I'm gonna have to get used to it, but you know, being in a car while it's auto braking, because you can set the distance, it is very sketchy. So yeah, I'm really happy that I was able to get this thing. So I did purchase this for $1,700 is what I want it for. Then shipping was like $1,100 bucks, and fees were like $1,000. So I have like $3,200 or something into this thing, which it technically has quite a few parts. So before I go inside and start messing with the Durango, because I want to weld a section into it, as well as I want to get that other hatch on there and stuff like that. But I want to hook the 6-liter up to this engine. I don't think anything's holding it in, and probably just yoink her out. And other than maybe the exhaust manifolds, but I can't really get to that side because it's so stuffed in there. So we'll wrap a chain around it. Hopefully we can yoink her out. Unfortunately, the 6-liter wasn't able to pull the engine out of the Durango. I thought she was less stuck than she is, but yeah, look at that. The 6-liter was actually ripping pretty good, giving her some good old yoinks. Gave her such a good yoink that it broke this bracket, and then this one back here that's aluminum, it popped that off too. But yeah, I'm not too worried about this. I really don't think this block was any good because of how bad it's wrecked. I mean, it could have been a good short block, but at this point I'm not really too worried about it. So what I'm going to do is probably wrap this up right here, start working on the Durango, because I want to get some stuff done on that before I go home today. Get some stuff welded, get the hatch on there, and get that. I'm going to put a new striker, or the striker, off of this Durango onto that one. Maybe I'll resolve some of my issues too. Maybe that striker's a little bit tweaked. The first layer of inner structure is now completely welded in. So I have all the plug welds in and she is ready to go. So in the next video, I want to get this whole hatch hoop structure welded completely in and finally get the quarter panels on. So I'm really happy that I waited to get this newer style hatch, because I think on the older style hatch, the striker must be over just the minutest amount because it wasn't closing correctly. I put this hatch on and now she shuts perfectly, which I'm very happy about. Another thing, if you guys have a Durango or a Grand Cherokee and you can't figure out how to open these, if you lose power, you need to just go in here. There's this little lever right here. From the other side, that's all you see. It's very deceiving. If you press that, it doesn't do anything. You have to just push this over that way and she comes right up. But besides that, we have a perfect hatch. We have the racetrack taillights, which I wanted, I needed to get anyway. So this just really worked out. I have, perfect hinges, nothing. I didn't have to guess. There wasn't any guesswork on it. So I'll probably just end up selling this hatch shell as well as some of the older taillights that I got. It was just really nice to get all the pieces from that other Durango, which I needed the whole side of the car anyway, which just really made sense to get the whole thing. They threw in the hatch anyway. And at the end, I was just like, well, I don't want to guess it. And if I would have welded all this in, I would have pushed it over too far. And then I would have got this hatch, it would have lined up. I would have been like, oh no, I'm going to have to pretty much go and redo everything. It would have been a nightmare, but I'm really just happy that I waited to get this hatch, because listen to how nice she closes. Look at this. We'll just go slow. Perfect. Perfect. I'm so happy. Look at these. Look at that. Nice gaps. Nice gaps. Same on both sides. I think when I redo the quarter panel, I'll make sure that these are even, because I've noticed that on most of the ones I've seen at the dealerships, they're always off. One side or the other is always lower. So I'll make sure that all of that is perfect, perfectly lined up. But I'm gonna wrap this video up here. If you like these videos, make sure to click that subscribe button, throw a thumbs up, throw a comment below. As always, see you guys next time.